Hello friends, how are you? Hi, myself Chirag Wagela, and I welcome you all in this video lecture. Yesterday, in previous lecture, we have learned about the inquiry letter and their reply. And as per my concern, we have completed that particular chapter on that previous lecture, and I hope you all have observed, or you can say the watch the video very carefully and learn about the all letters. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me, and I have a totally confirmation that you people have thoroughly go through the video and you have watched the all the letters. Now today we are going to start some new chapter which are basically from the SPCC portion and which may are most related portion of the your standard 12th consideration 12th as per the requirement of the standard 12th. The all chapters in the 11th standard are important, but some basic chapters are not quite important as per as standard 12th is concerned. But some chapters are most favorable as well as most suitable and most learnable things which you have to compulsorily learn in your as per the requirement of the standard 12th. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is of the uh, SP portion, and the name of the chapter is the share and its type. First of all, share capital and types of share. See, as per my concern, you people out of you all might be not aware about this word, but some students have some basic concepts regarding the share capital and what are the difference, what is the terms. That means you have to learn it very carefully, and this chapter is most comfortable and most important chapter as far as your standard 12th is concerned. So today we are going to start a chapter 7 of SP portion, share capital and types of share. First of all, introduction. The promoters of newly established company estimate the requirements of the capital for the short term, medium, mid term and long term. See, promoters means the person who have an idea to start a business. The person who have a start of business, that is known as the promoter, and promoter have newly established company, and before starting the company he or she will examine that what type of short term capital, what type of mid term capital and what type of long term capital is required for the business purpose. So today we are going to learn about this type of requirement, and these long term, short term as well as mid term finance must be suitable to run a business very smoothly. To purchase a fixed assets like land, building, machinery, furniture, long term fixed capital is required. See, if you want to purchase the fixed assets like land, building, machinery, factory, whatever thing, plus whatever furniture is required to establish a company, its office. So at that time, fixed capital is required, and this fixed capital is most important part while you are running a business or you have an idea to run a business. At that time, this is must. After commencement of business, working capital is required for day-to-day administration and production expenses. See, which type of expenses, which type of capital is required for the smooth running of the business, means day-to-day expenses of a business. At that time, you have to write in answer that first of all the mid-term as well as working capital. Working capital is required for the smooth running of the business. So you can say for day to day expenses as well as the production expenses, you need a working capital, and that is quite necessary thing. Company issues share for requirement of long term capital and working capital. See, for the issue of share and for the betterment of the company's future, at that time share capital and working capital is required for the main purpose of the company. Meaning and definition of share. What type of shares are required and what is the share? You have to understand it. So, meaning, in general term, proportion of owner capital is large, which is divided into small parts. This smaller part is known as share. See, what they have mentioned that in general terms, see, this is the general definition of the share, that the term of production proportion of the owner capital. Owner capital means whatever amount brought by the person who have an idea to start a business, and whatever amount he or she had collected from the public, that is known as the owner capital, and this owner capital is divided in a small parts with a specific amount, and this small part is known as the share. Now another definition. Share means shareholders implacable interest in the company. See, implacable, where your interest cannot be placed by any other person who have a concern with the company or without the concern of the company. Share means implacable interest in the monetary terms or responsibility. See, these are the monetary terms and the responsibilities for the person who have an idea to start a business. The company offers proposal to public collect capital by publishing the prospectus as per the provisions of the Companies Act. The person who holds share is known as a shareholder. See, company first of all provides the proposal to every person, every general public, to that they want to start a business and they need some finance for that particular portion, and due to that they will publish a prospectus. Prospectus is a one kind of a statement through which you can invite a public for the investment in the company, that is known as the prospectus. As per the provision of the Company Act, they have to publish a prospectus, and the person who holds a share, who purchases a share, is known as the shareholder. As per the Company Act 2013, share means one part of the capital which also includes stock. Company divides its share capital in small parts. That part is known as share. See, as per the Company Act 2013, this is the definition that share means a one part of capital through which the company can include in a capital a stock as a capital, and company divides its capital in a small part. Whatever amount company had collected, it divided into small part, that is known as the share. Say for example, now I am going to one an example. Say 1 lakh requirement is there, 1 lakh rupees. At present you can see at your screen. Now this 1 lakh rupees is divided by 10 rupees. So what will happen? The remaining amount of that is the 10,000. Now 1 lakh rupees is divided by 10 rupees. So whatever amount is generated, that is known as the share. See, 1 lakh rupees is divided by 10 rupees, and 1 lakh rupees converted in 10,000 small parts. That is known as the share. Everyone clear that whatever amount is divided by specific amount, and the whatever amount had come, that is known as the share. Is that clear, everyone? Now, today, this is the definition of the share. Now, the characteristics of the share. You can, it may be asked in a 5 mark as well as 3 mark questions. So, you have to mark it very carefully. Now, the first of all characteristics of the share is the part of a share capital. Share is a part of a share capital of the company. See, this is the part of the share capital of the company. It is divided into equal small parts, means it may be converted in a small equal parts, as we have learned ago in earlier that the 1 lakh rupees is divided into small parts by 10 rupees, and 10,000 has arrived, that is the small parts of 1 lakh rupees, and that 10,000 is known as the shares. It is divided in equal parts, means they are divided equally, means 1 lakh rupees is divided by 10 and it comes equally at 10,000. Interest in company. Share represents shareholder financial interest in the company. See, shareholder has to interest in a financial interest of the company, means whatever person who have invested that particular amount is the interest of the company. Movable asset. Share is a movable asset which can be sold or purchased. See, this is the movable asset through which you can sold or purchase some properties as well as the some assets like share, building, whatever you want to purchase. It can be given a gift or donation. See, you can give it by the donation as well as gift to other parties, and through which you can provide some definition and some asset to others. Now, free transfer. Share can be transferred freely. See, whatever share you have already purchased, and if you don't want to keep it with you at that time, you can sold it or transfer it in another person's name. But it may be done with the procedure of the and the permission of the company. Without company's permission and procedure, it might not be converted or transferred. It is an important characteristic. See, this is the important characteristic. You can transfer freely to whom you want to transfer, you can, but the company's permission is necessary, and company will not restrict this right towards you. Now, the rights and responsibility. The equity shareholder have a right to get a notice of meeting, to remain present in the meeting, and have power to exercise voting right. See, equity share have right to get a notice of the meeting. See, equity shareholder have a right to remain present in the meeting and have a right to give take a notice for the meeting that on this day, this time, the meeting will be conducted for the company's benefit, and have a right to remain present in the meeting. See, every shareholder have a right to remain present in the company's meeting and have power to exercise voting rights, means whatever decision in the company should be taken with the majority of the opinion of the persons voting. So the person who have a share, who have purchased a share, they have a right to vote in the company's meeting, and they can get the whole things, as well as he or she can use the right for the remain present in the company and take give it that their opinion in the company's meeting, and will help to take a specific decision. The shareholder has also responsibility to pay a face value. See, everyone has a responsibility who have purchased a share. they have a responsibility to pay a face value. Face value means the whatever amount of a particular share is decided is known by the face value, main value. Clear? So they have to compulsorily pay this amount as a part of the responsibility. So these are the characteristics through which you can understand it very carefully, that the share are most important part while running of a business, and it is a most important thing. Now the types of the share capital. See, what type of share are required. Now the types of share capital, in that, first of all, authorized share capital, issued share capital, subscribed capital, call up share capital, paid up share capital. Is that clear? Now first one is the authorized capital. The amount of the share capital is mentioned in the capital clause of the company's memorandum of association is an authorized capital. See, whatever amount you have mentioned as a part of the company and whatever amount you have mentioned in the capital clause means where the capital is shown of the company in the company's memorandum of association, means the company's rules and regulations, which are the statement which are including the company's rules and regulation is known as the memorandum of association. And in memorandum of association, in capital clause, whatever amount you have mentioned in that clause is known as the authorized capital. Say for example, if you have mentioned that company will start with the rupees of 30 lakh rupees, then this 30 lakh rupees is known as the authorized capital. This capital is known as registered capital or total capital. See, this capital is known as the registered capital as well as the total capital. It may ask in 1 mark question that give another name of the authorized share capital, and that is known as the registered capital or total capital. The company cannot issue share more than the authorized capital. See, company cannot issue the shares more than the authorized capital, means the company can issue the share of amount of rupees 30 lakh, not more than 30 lakh. More than 30 lakh if you want to issue, but company cannot issue the amount of 30 lakh rupees. If in future it is required to collect more capital, there should be a provision in articles of association. See, this is the another statement where the company's rules and regulations are mentioned, that is known as the articles of association. And if you want to collect more amount, at that time you have to put provision in your articles of association. After article, without mentioning this clause, you cannot collect more amount as per the authorized capital. Moreover, consent is essential in the shareholders meeting and resolution is passed. See, first of all, if you want to collect more than the authorized capital, at that time 2 or 3 things you have to compulsorily done with the permission. Without this concern, you cannot go through it. So first of all, you have to put a provision in articles of association. Second thing, the shareholders meeting, if first of all you have to take provision in articles of association. Second thing is that you have to take a consent of the shareholders meeting, and third one is the you have to pass a resolution for the same, and that is known as the authorized capital. Next one is the issued share capital. The company can issue share and collect share capital as and when it require money. See, the company can issue whatever amounts share at where and when they require. If they at present there is no requirement, at that time they cannot issue the share. But after sometimes company require more amount to run a business very smoothly, at that time company can issue a share. So the amount collected by the issuing the share is termed as the issued capital. whatever amount you have issued, or you can say whatever amount you have collected through the share, that is known as the issued capital. Say for example, you have issued 15 lakh rupees share instead of requirement of 30 lakh. At that time this 15 lakh rupees is known as the issued capital. Now the subscribed share capital, the application received by a company for the issued share, the capital received for the same is termed as the subscribed capital. Means the whatever amount you have received as a part of the share application, that is known as the subscribed capital. Say for example, company had issued a 30 lakh rupees share, but at that time company get a 31 lakh rupees application for the issue of the share. At that time it is known as the subscribed capital. The another example of subscribed capital is that a company had issued the 30 lakh rupees share, but company had received only 25 lakh rupees as share application. So that is known as the subscribed capital. If the amount is received more than the amount of the issued capital, still the application accepted will be in the accordance the amount of the issued capital. Rest of the amount is returned to the applicant. See, I have given an example that company had issued a rupees 30 lakh rupees share, but company received a 31 lakh rupees shares application. At that time company cannot take of these 1 lakh rupees extra which comes through the share application, but company can take only 30 lakh rupees from the public. So company had to compulsorily return back that particular applications of rupees 1 lakh. So it cannot be collect more than the subscribed capital or the issued capital. So company have to compulsorily return that particular application. Such accepted share capital can only be the termed as the subscribed capital. So only 30 lakh rupees can be considered as the subscribed capital. Extra 1 lakh rupees cannot be considered as an subscribed capital. These 1 lakh rupees company has to compulsorily return to the applicant with the letter of sorry. Called up share capital in accordance with the face value, and when required company goes on calling for the money in installments. See, nowadays this is not valid because at present the whole procedure is considered as the ASBA value, and you will learn this concept in standard 12th. But before that you have to take in consent for this concept that if you want to know the concept, this called up capital before the modern era, before the ASPA procedure has arrived, this is the system is totally active that company wants to collect the finance. At that time company needs finance. At that time company make an arrangement, the arrangement for the public in installment. Say for example company wants to collect 100 rupees from the public. At that time company makes an installment to the for the public. That means you have to pay rupees 20 for the application. See, I will write in the your screen that say for example you apply, so application time you have to pay 20 rupees. Allotment company make an installment of rupees 30. That means it is the 50 rupees. Now first installment company provide, that is of the 25 rupees, and company's second installment, that is also rupees of 25 rupees. This type of company can collect 100 rupees. So this is the basically company made an installment for the same, but nowadays it is not valid. So company say for example have already called application 20 rupees 30 rupees for the allotment, and that is known as the 50 rupees, and it is collected by the company. So if company calls first installment each share, and whatever amount you have collected, means 25 rupees into 10,000 share. How much? 10,000 share means 2,50,000 amount has come. That is known as the called up capital. Is that clear, everyone? 25 rupees of each share and total number of shares are 10,000. Then 2,50,000 amount can be generated. That is known as the called up capital. Is that clear? Now, so in this way, the amount of the money called is the called up capital. So this type of amount can be called is known as the called up capital. Nowadays, usually company calls for a full amount of the face value of share. See, whatever thing I have mentioned earlier is come here. That the nowadays company call full amount of the share. That is of the 100 rupees, and company at present call 100 rupees. Company nowadays not make any kind of installments. Now, paid up share capital. The amount received in called up capital from the shareholder is known as the paid up share capital. Whatever amount is paid by the company's shareholder and the general public is known as the paid up share capital. Clear that? In the above sequence, the capital mentioned in lower order cannot exceed the capital in higher order. Means the whatever you have called is the whatever scenario is mentioned here is not a higher order. Means paid up capital is not higher than the authorized capital. See, authorized capital is the highest capital. Issued capital is always lower than the authorized capital. Subscribed capital is always lower than the issued capital as well as the authorized capital. Called up capital is always lower than the subscribed, issued, and authorized capital. And paid up share capital is always lower than the called up capital, subscribed capital, issued share capital, and authorized capital. The scenario of this share capital cannot be changed. Now, the special information is given over here that when the management of the company feels that the called up capital is sufficient for the business and in future there will be no requirement of such capital, special resolution is resolved in the shareholder meeting to keep reserve capital. Say management have so much amount in the company, so much finance and sufficient finance to run a business very smoothly, but they want to keep some finance as a reserve for the future expenses which might be unexpected. So at that time company have to compulsorily call a meeting of the shareholder and keep some finance as a reserve, and that is known as the reserve capital. It is known as the reserve capital. In case of the winding up of a company can call such reserved capital from the shareholder. Means company doesn't want to collect a finance from the shareholder at that time, that is known as the reserve capital. But when and where the company require and they will call this amount, the shareholders have to compulsorily pay this, and that is known as the reserve capital. In the unexpected situation, unexpected expenses, company can call this amount and this share capital. That is known as the fixed as well as the reserve capital. I have told it as a fixed because it is the reserved and it totally recover. Sometimes it might be not a recover, but the little bit amount can be cover, so it may be useful for the company's future as well as the betterment of the company. So I request you all to kindly go through it, and I request you all to kindly watch it very carefully because it is a totally new concept for the your study, and this might be in a trouble situation that you are not able to understand some words as well as the some terms which is quite new for you. So I request you all to kindly watch this video very carefully. Thank you very much.